Kia ora, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week at Everything You Need to Know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock with news the Fed governors are clearly worried about the inflation threat from the new tariff taxes. The US Fed has kept rates unchanged in the decision earlier today, holding their core policy rate at 4.25%. The projection dot plots suggested that they have two more 25 basis point rate cuts penciled in for 2025 and one more for 2026. But they also downgraded their expectations on growth in the US economy, dropping the 2025 estimate from 1.7% to 1.4% and trimming their forecast for 2026 to just 1.6%. Fed boss Powell said these growth downgrades will come as higher tariffs hinder the US economy and put upward pressure on US inflation. Meanwhile, US initial jobless claims eased lower to 236,000, but the reduction is all accounted for by seasonal effects. There are now 1.82 million people on these benefits, almost 100,000 more than this time last year. US mortgage applications fell last week despite benchmark mortgage interest rates easing lower at the same time. Also falling, and rather sharply, were new housing starts in May. They fell almost 10% from April to be 1% lower than the same month a year ago. Across the Pacific, Japanese machinery orders fell more than 9% in April, a sharp reversal from March's 13% surge. This was their weakest reading since April 2020, but about what was expected. Meanwhile, Japanese car exports to the US fell in volume terms by almost 4% in May, but in value terms they were down almost 25%, suggesting that at the moment Japanese car makers are absorbing some of the new US tariffs to maintain their market share. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now at 4.40% and up 1 basis point from yesterday, clawing back earlier falls after the Fed commentary. And the price of gold will start today at $3,386 an ounce and down $3 from yesterday. American oil prices are still in the higher zone, unchanged from yesterday at just on $74.50 a barrel, while the international Brent price is now just over $76 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar is now just over 60.2 US cents, unchanged from yesterday. The US dollar firmed slightly after the Fed decision. Against the Aussie, we're now down 30 basis points at 92.7 Australian cents. Against the euro, we're up 10 basis points at 52.5 euro cents. That all means our trade weighted index starts today at 68.2 and unchanged from yesterday. And tomorrow is a public holiday in New Zealand, Matariki, and this briefing will take a break. And remember, it's a holiday in the US tomorrow as well, Juneteenth. You can get more news about the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again on Monday.